As more and more broadcasters make the switch from analog to digital, valuable spectrum is being released into the market. Some of this is being reserved for mobile TV networks, yet the value of this application is yet to be proved. At the annual IBC broadcast event in Amsterdam this week, the CEO of independent UK broadcaster ITV said that mobile will have to wait because it's clunky, it's slow, and 3G streaming seems usually not to work. He also called Google and YouTube parasites. Great's former company, the BBC, has a long history in pioneering broadcast work. As part of our coverage of the event, TelecomTV spoke to two of the BBC's leading experts in cross-platform content delivery.
The screen size issue is becoming a real headache, but I don't think the technology has settled down yet. What you get in the living room with the big, 42, 50, maybe even larger screen is the couch potato, high definition, full surround sound cinema experience. You go to the PC and you maybe watch something again, or you look for content that's related to what you've just seen. But on the mobile phone, what do you want to see? And I think the real issue here is, as the technologies are beginning to settle down, as we're beginning to see what you can do with these devices, we'll begin to see different things, different content coming out for those devices. But I think at the moment, if you ask me what works on them, I couldn't tell you.
Repurposing has become a buzzword for broadcasters as they seek to reuse their valuable TV content across web and mobile platforms.
To make a program that works on multiple platforms is going to be very difficult. But I think if you have an asset, if you have something that is an outstanding, I always come back to Planet Earth or some of our natural history stuff, that does work on multiple platforms, but it's not the same program. You can use different bits of the content, you can go deeper, you can click on an animal, go into its history, go into its landscape, see all the other shots we took of that while we were there, trying to get the shot that we could only have 40, 50 seconds of in the program.
As well as struggling with multiple platforms, there's also the environment surrounding programs. So, how do you get audiences involved with your content?
I think a lot of broadcasters, it's actually quite difficult to start making that step, because it starts to challenge some of the rules that they're used to in the broadcast arena. And as a result, I think that there is some dipping of toes in the water, but it's a new game, and the rules have yet to be made up.
The BBC already has websites, message boards, and feedback mechanisms for its programs. But with its new radio show, IPM, it's going one step further.
It's a radio program, it goes out once a week, and the aim is that over the week it develops the stories based on what it's hearing on its webpage and on its blog, and starts to use that material, not simply as leads to follow, but how could it use those contributors? Is there someone there that would make a good interviewee? Could we use them as a reporter, perhaps? It still requires journalistic discipline. It's not free form. There's still editorial control of what goes out on the Saturday night. But how that develops is quite different from the way in which a story would ordinarily develop with a current affairs program once a week.
Joining me from our London newsroom is TelecomTV analyst Ian Scales. Ian, who's going to benefit from the digital dividend, operators or broadcasters?
Well, I think both will benefit in the long run, Layla, but both are a little bit worried in the meantime. For broadcasters, the digital dividend means all the extra capacity that they're getting from various technologies and the freeing up of spectrum. For operators, however, the digital dividend could mean that their networks get clogged by web traffic. Video which users are pulling down over the internet, and they're a little bit worried about that.
So do broadcasters and their content providers need telcos?
I think for the time being they do, especially in the IPTV area where telcos manage the service to the end user, and they may partner with telcos to do that. In the longer term, though, it's less certain. The web will grow in its capability and its ability to move data about, so that could close the window on operator-managed services.
Ian, thank you very much.